Hi there, Richard Tubb here in the Tubbservatory, keeping my eye out for top resources to help you to grow your MSP business. So without further ado, here are my 5 a week from the MSP space. If you're running a one-person band MSP business, then the SuperOps article on what's next for your solo MSP will be of great interest to you. Akshaya Devi lays out options for when your MSP business gets too big for one person to manage. Now, mental health awareness is an area that needs raising in the managed service provider space, so it's great to see that training provider Micro have added a mental health and wellbeing pack to their extensive MSP training material. The pack covers topics such as the way to good mental health, promoting wellbeing in the workplace, and key measures for a mentally healthy workplace. This is a wonderful addition to an already amazing lineup of training materials from Micro. Here's a gadget that caught my eye. With so many of us working from home now, the DropTop from Pith Stem makes setting up a home office easy, and it doesn't take up too much space in your home. Now, I'd recommend every MSP investigates cybersecurity insurance, so this article from Tassos Arampatis is useful for MSPs to understand how deploying multi-factor authentication is a prerequisite, not only for getting coverage, but also for lowering insurance premiums. And finally, if you are unable to make it to the big Channel Partners Conference and Expo in Las Vegas, then don't fear, because James Steele of Linode has a brilliant write-up with the 6 lessons he learned from the event. This is a fascinating read, and I'd encourage all MSPs to check it out for some surprising insights.
An article in Computer Weekly this week reports that a third of UK organisations are planning to outsource their IT, and this time the reason is due to talent shortages. Article author Karl explains that the pandemic years have accelerated the pace of digital transformation and that the cloud has become an increasingly important resource, with workforces becoming more remote. One area I know MSPs often struggle with is sales and marketing, and this webinar I discovered from Zomentum helps with that tricky part of getting prospects over the line and converting those leads into customers. Shannon Murphy leads an insightful talk with award-winning speaker and sales expert Fiona Chalice and business growth expert and sales strategist Paul Lloyd. The business of cybersecurity is growing more complex by the day, but before we leverage more complex technology, we need to make sure our people are educated. That's the message Greg Jones, Business Development Director, EMEA for Datto, is telling us here in this article written for CompTIA. As MSPs, we need to lead by example in what he calls the 3 pillars of cyber resilience. While we're on the subject of security, AD Pick from Atera has put together an article explaining the benefits of SIEM, Security Information and Event Management for MSPs and their clients. SIEM offers real-time security oversight and captures log data for compliance and auditing. It employs AI and behavior anomaly detection to identify threats automatically according to rules and policies that you configure during the setup. And finally, as part of London Tech Week, Channel Partners Europe comes to Park Plaza Victoria Hotel in London on the 14th and 15th of June. The event will host more than 50 channel experts, leaders and innovators there to share their channel insights and solutions.
As part of the recent Global MSP Day, Barracuda released their 2022 The Evolving Landscape of the MSP Business Report. This year's report demonstrates that there is still a huge appetite for managed services, with global service-related MSP revenue set to increase by over a third in 2022 compared with 2021. This report should be of interest to any MSP who wants to keep an eye on upcoming trends. In an interesting development in the managed service space, news that UK-based NerdApp has teamed up with credit card provider Visa to provide on-demand IT support to small businesses across Europe. NerdApp CEO Kelvin Weatherall announced that Visa card holders would get discounted remote and on-site IT support services. Microsoft Azure can be intimidating, so Pax8 have produced the MSP's ultimate guide to Microsoft Azure. If you need help breaking down the complexities of Azure, then this is a download for you. Your mind doesn't do you a lot of favors, writes MSP expert Karl Palachuk. If you've ever wondered why your mind is overactive and racing as an MSP owner, Read Karl's article for an insight. And finally, how's this for sustainable IT? An off-grid Starlink user has achieved infinite Wi-Fi with 300 watts of solar power. Chris Young of Interesting Engineering reports that Steve Birch, who works in facilities management, is powering SpaceX's internet service completely off-grid at his home in the Sawtooth Mountains of Idaho. I guess there's now hope for anybody who suffers from poor broadband.
Uptime Solutions have announced that they have just opened up a new office in the US. Based in Tampa, Florida, Uptime are now expanding their support worldwide for their current partners and their growing US partner base, with offices now located in the UK, US, and New Zealand, meaning more growth opportunities for all MSPs. On the topic of growth, Fiona Chalice, MSP sales expert and founder of Next Gen Sales Training, has put together a free guide called How to Win, Grow and Retain New Clients for Your MSP Business. As sales and marketing has consistently been ranked as one of the top challenges faced by MSPs, this guide shares the steps to take to not just win new clients, but also to grow and retain them. With World Productivity Day earlier this week, it only seemed fitting to share the latest Behind the Geeks podcast episode, Becoming a Productivity Powerhouse. Topics covered the benefits of productivity, how to stop procrastinating, how to be more organized, and the Geeks shared their very own productivity techniques. Cloud services distributor Geocom and cybersecurity experts Acronis recently delivered a webinar about protecting your SMB clients from today's cybersecurity threats. The webinar shared an explanation of the recent threat landscape, a detailed breakdown of how ransomware works, and dived into the benefits of Acronis cyber protection. The replay is available on demand. And lastly, Computing and CRN have announced that the Women in Tech Festival will be returning to London on Thursday the 3rd of November, plus an additional digital event on Wednesday the 9th of November. I've seen the agenda and it's definitely one to check out. With talks around 4 pillars of diversity, innovation, community and empowerment, the festival will offer inspiration of not only how to improve yourself professionally and personally, but how to help others too. With a keen focus on addressing diversity, the festival is for anyone within the tech industry, and tickets are available now.